Good evening everybody and welcome to SSR, Safe Space Racing, for some Tier 2 action this evening. We are in a not so sunny Canada, Montreal tonight, and as you can see it is raining and it is raining pretty hard. It's hard enough for the intermediates, so it's going to be a wet qualifying session as far as we can see. So I'm just going to get myself set up because it's the first time I've been in the booth for season 3 and first time in the commentary booth for F1 2021. So we're just going to try and remember all the settings. I am Bascom62, drive in the Tier 3 for SSR, and used to drive in Tier 2 but no longer quick enough. So we're going to see what these guys can do this evening in the wet weather of Canada. And good start to the stream from Craig Conley, who has subscribed for 8 months, so appreciate that, Craig. And Craig racing in the McLaren, and he's just going to come out of the pit box as we mention his name. So Craig, subscribing for 8 months, thank you very much, and wish you luck in the race. What have we got going on? We've got a drivers heading round towards the final corner, which is going to be pretty difficult in these rainy conditions. We've got, I believe, Chris Wilson is going to be the first driver to start a flying lap here. Hopefully we can get a weather update at some point, and we'll see as Chris goes about his first flying lap of the session in the Alfa Romeo. Guys in the chat, let me know if the volume's all good. You can hear me alright. Oh, as Chris spins out of the first chicane, luckily can keep it going without a front wing. Chris with the first spin, we're going to see a few of those, I think, as he's gone straight on. I think just getting out of everyone's way. Chris with an early spin, luckily for him, he keeps it going. He'll just need to go back into the pits, get a new front wing and probably some new tyres. Another yellow flag. This is Chris just letting everyone through. Tough start for Chris. It's going to be Tutuba. That's pronounced terrifically. But in the Ferrari, he's going to be the first one to set a lap. Goes round the final hairpin down towards the back straight. Another yellow flag, which I think is Chris again, just letting people through. So tough start for Chris. But the Ferrari of Tutuba is going to be the first one to set a lap. No idea what's a good lap time in the wet on the Inters, but we're going to find out. Really, really nicely done through the final corner, final chicane, negotiated, and it's a 1:19.771 from Tutuba and the Ferrari, and then the other Ferrari, Bitty Band, is going to come in across the line in a minute. We've got a time from Formula Maxim, 6 tenths off the pace, and Aero just about 500ths quicker than Maxim, slots in the P2. What can Bitty Band do? That's a 1:21.3, so perhaps not unexpectedly, we've got a big difference in times early on in the wet. You do get often a bit more variation, a bit more gaps there. Good start from the Ferrari though, leading our championship leader in Aero by 6 tenths as Maestro decides he doesn't fancy it, and we've got Still Curtin. It's going to be the next one across the line. He looks like he's struggling a bit on that pace, already at a 1:17, and he's actually invalidated through there. So still not going to be able to settle up that time out. We'll keep an eye on Craig though. What can he do? 1:16 at the minute. Might be able to set a decent lap time here in the 1:20s. Yeah, 1:20.3. So the 2, 3 and 4 separated by just over half a tenth, which isn't bad going. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Not sure what that's for. As GB is going to come up to some traffic here. As Tutuba goes quicker again, shaves a tenth off his time. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think Charisma might have had a little bit of a moment. But we're going to go on board with GB, who's in the traffic of Bitty Band. Bitty Band goes into the pits. GB probably annoyed that Bitty didn't let him go there, and even more annoyed that he's invalidated across the line. So that's not going to be a lap for GB. Halo's invalidated as well. Chris is back out with a new front wing, which is good to see. And Steele has spun out the hairpin. Slow corner, and he might have damaged his back wing there as well. Just waiting for it to clear before he gets going. And it's quite busy at that section of the track at the minute. We can see from Halo's point of view now. So Steele spinning out of that hairpin. And you can see they're still getting out of the way. Halo will set a lap. Oh no, he won't, because he's invalidated. A few guys on outlaps. GB invalidated. Steele we've just seen with the spin. So what is everyone doing who's already set a lap? Craig has improved. Aero's improved. We missed a couple of those. Aero up into the 19s, 1:19.8, and Tutuba quicker again. He is flying in the Ferrari. A 1:19.4 to go 4 tenths clear. What can Maxim do in what I believe is his first race of the season? Yes, it is. Can he get into the 1:19s? No, and he can't improve. So let's go on board then with Chris, who looks like he's spun again, and he has, struggling in the wet again at the early part of the track is where he spun, as GB running wide through turn 2 and struggling. Just about keeps it in a straight line, keeps it out the wall on the inside there. That could have been a tough start to the lap. Is Tutuba going to improve? No, because he's invalidated. Conley is possibly going to set a lap, is he? He is. Let's see what Connie can do in the McLaren. Currently in third. We're seeing everyone go for 2 or 3 laps in a row on these Inters. And let's see what Connie can do. He improves to a 1:19.741 to go second. Still a 3/10 gap. And we've got Mikako in the chat saying nobody is ready for the Tutuba Bitty Band link up. Currently 1 and 6 for the Ferraris at the minute. Still waiting for 7 drivers to set a lap time. The 2 Mercedes have set a lap time. They're going to look to improve those times. Both coming across the line in a minute. Charisma does improve to P3. Same lap time as Aero. A 1:19.812 from the Mercedes matches Aero in the Red Bull. Maxim pitted behind him. Maestro now is going to set a lap time. His first one of the session. Going to be in the 120s, and it's a 1:20.5 to move up to the P6 for Maestro in the Aston Martin. And Zampa then coming across the line. He's going to set a lap in the 20s as well. Goes P7 just behind Maestro. Wonder if conditions just deteriorating a little bit perhaps. And we're going to see as Luke. Oh my God, Luke. The AlphaTauri we're going to call him Luke because I have no idea how to do that one. Struggling. Zampa's pulling away. You can see in the Haas in front of him. As we've got Elite Racing Championship saying Craig will get pole. Craig will get pole. 3/10 off at the minute. Currently in P2. Good qualifying so far from the Sol McLaren. He's in P2 and the Ferrari still leads away. Ferrari, McLaren 1-2. That's what we like to see. Brings back the old days of F1. But what can Luke do in the AlphaTauri? He takes a narrow line into the hairpin. Can he get a lap together? GB is still invalidated again, so he's not going to set a lap. He's trying his best. And Maestro has crossed the line. 1:18.9. Brilliant lap from Maestro. I don't know if the 2 Aston Martins may be helping each other out there. But Maestro goes pole, or provisional pole, and Luke's little drift out the final corner. He's going to get a lap on the board, so he goes P9, 1:22 flat. Bit off a pace, but he does at least get on the board, which is better than 4 other drivers at the minute, who are all struggling. Great lap from Maestro, and he's gone purple in Sector 1 on his next one. So he's going for it now. What can Maestro do on this second lap on this set of Inters? So it looks like a lot of the top guys have gone for a new set now midway through a session, as Halo is facing the wrong way. He's going to need to rectify that pretty quickly before he gets disqualified. Nicely done from Halo. Gets back to facing the right way. Oh, Maestro is 2/10 better off, but he's spun. Lights up the tyres out the hairpin. We saw Steele facing the wrong way there as well. He was 2/10 off on his time, and he's spun out the hairpin. He's going to need to come back in. They should have another set of Inters. We've got a weather report from GB in the Discord. Wet quality as we can see, but it is going to be a dry race. So these guys can burn through all their intermediates now. They don't have to save them for the race from what we are hearing. And Tutuba is just slightly up on his time. 0.03 of a second better off through Sector 1. And Zampa's gone P3, 1:19.7 to get a little bit closer. Still 0.8 off Maestro though. Great lap from the Aston Martin. And what can Tutuba do in response? We're going to see his Sector 2 time, top right of your screens, and he's 2.5 up. Got to find another 2.5 in these last couple of corners if he's going to challenge for pole. Gap currently 5 between him and Maestro. And let's see what he can do. Is very neat and tidy through the hairpin. Got to keep it clean, but also commit to it. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Can't quite see that. It's a really nice line from Tutuba, and this could be a decent lap then. Already 2.5 up. Shortest route to the line. It's in the 118s. It's 1:18.857. What a final sector that was from the Ferrari. Chris Wilson follows him into P3, and Maxim then follows him into P3. Drops Chris down the 4th. Looks like maybe drying up a little bit, or the dry line's appearing because these guys are going quicker. GB's on the same Inters. Halo finally gets a lap in as well, and we've got Steele, I think. Yeah, Steele's just crossed the line, goes P4. Zampa not improving on that run. So Craig then, who was looking really good in second about 2 minutes ago before a spin, that down to 8th. So what can he do? He's currently 3 tenths up on his time, but goes wide at the hairpin. That's going to cost him probably the 3 tenths he was up by, and almost gets it wrong again. So he's probably not going to improve. Bitty Band's gone 6th, which has then been replaced by Aero, who's gone 4th. 119.2 for Aero. So we're going to get a little bit of time for these guys to do a few more runs still, because they're doing 1, 2, 3 laps even on the same set of tyres. Is Tutuba, yeah, he's going to go into the pits, get one more fresh set. I believe they've got three sets of inters to use. I could be wrong, that might be 2, but they've definitely got a couple of sets they can burn through. Aero's not going quicker there. We'll see Steele, who is behind GB, I think. You can see GB there at the bottom, 6 laps in these inters. So I'm not sure if he's going to pit. No, he's going to carry on. Still will pit though. So let's see if GB can get a lap together, and he can finally. Looks like GB's going to get on the board. And it's not a bad one, up to P9 on 7 lap old inters. 119.7. We can see the times now beginning to bunch together as everyone pits as well. A lot of people in the pit now for those final set, that final run. And it's getting close. 1/10 separates Tutuba and Maestro, the Ferrari and the Aston Martin at the top. Maxim, first race of the season, up into P3. Aero's still out there, and Aero's actually just in front of Craig. So let's see Aero across the line. Not going to improve. A 122 there, I think that was. So Craig then, I mean, just needs to find a 10th, and he's up to 7th. Finds 3 tenths, and he's up to 5th. Doesn't invalidate through the final corner. What can he do? Can he get into the 18s? No, but he does find those 3 tenths. Up in the P5 for Craig. Good lap from him, and he's got time for a couple more as well. As we can see a few of the guys on out laps. Brisma's invalidated. GB's getting out of the way. I wonder if GB will finally pit and finds a new set of inters. I'm sure he's got some, though he's just saving them right for the end there. But we can see the top 3 all on out laps, all on fresh set of intermediates. So the battle for pole is far from over, and to see how quickly things can change. Zampa was at one point up in the P3, he's now down to P9. Conley was up at P2 at one point, dropped well down to P10, P11. Halo looks like it's gone purple in sector 2, not sure how valid that is. Not sure if that's still a bug from last year's game where everyone was just purple in sector 2. But let's see what Halo can do. Obviously wants to improve on his 135.3, which is certainly not a representative time. He's not going to do that now, and we can see then the gap to the leader and the top 11 out of 13 separated by a second. And Maestro looks like he's backed off his first run, and Tutu is going to start his lap in a minute. And we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Not sure who that was. Chris invalidated. Everyone's on out laps. Let's go on board with Maxim, who's right. Oh, he's invalidated. Maxim invalidates, and he's going to be right in front of Tutuba as well. I wonder if that will play any part in Tutuba's lap. Let's see. We're going to go on board with our provisional pole sitter. Can he hang on to it? These guys have got time for 2 laps. All of the guys out on track at the minute have got time for 2 laps. And we're seeing other people come out onto out laps. GB finally with a fresh set of intermediates. And let's see what the Ferrari can do. You can see Maxim just getting in his way. Maxim really should probably have moved out the way on an invalidated lap. Tutuba probably, yeah, you see him just struggling to get the braking down. Still a nice line through, and he's going to get a tow. The weather definitely looks to be drying up a little bit, so it wouldn't surprise me if these guys are going to go quicker. Maestro not at the minute though. So Tutuba on his second to last run, can he improve that time? Oh, he's backed out. He's backed off a little bit. He's going to just, is he? Just got a tail. Looked like he had. Is he going to go for a final run then? Has he backed out? Difficult to see that. Yes, he had just about lost a second in that final sector. So backs off, gives himself a bit of room for the final run. And is anyone improving? Still with invalidation. Bittyban though, could he spoil his teammate's party? Still got one more run off this, but he's currently in P7, 6 tenths down on the leader. And he's going to be looking to find his way, possibly in the top 2, top 3, maybe even pole in the Ferrari. What can he do? 30 seconds left of the session. And he doesn't improve. A couple of seconds to find. Chris has just started lap. Zampa is not going the right. Oh, GB's out. GB with a big crash out of the first chicane. Yellow flag in sector 1 might disrupt a couple of the guys. Certainly Charisma has just gone past it. Zampa as well, I think. Oh, sorry, Steele just went past it. As Craig gets a P5, 119.4. And they're going to see everyone come around them for the final runs. Tutaba 10th up on his best. Maxim just in front of him, hasn't invalidated, so we're going to see Maxim across the line. And then the Ferrari of Tutaba. Maxim doesn't improve, or doesn't improve enough. Tutaba does, 118.7. Maestro's invalidated, and Maxim is missing at least one wheel. So it's all down to championship leader Aero, I think. I don't think anyone else is going to gate crash the Ferrari party. And can Aero improve? Have we got anyone else crossing the line? Bittyban's in front of Aero. We'll keep an eye on Bittyban first. We see an absolute car park at turn 1. And we're going to see Bittyban go straight on. So it's down to Aero then. Chris Wilson's gone P3 and is then parked in the car park. So can Aero? Aero's 4.5 tenths up, and he's about 5 tenths off pole here. So Aero could still get this. The championship leader, been on pole both races so far this season. Keeps it clean, a little bit cautious through the final corner. What can Aero do? Final run. P2 by a 10th. Hit by a 10th and joins the car park at turn 1. And that is that. Tutaba is on pole, first pole of the season for the Ferrari driver. He was second in qualifying last time out. He goes one better this time. We can see him now. He's coming up. He's already done though. And Tutaba on pole. And Monkey offering some support. Mickey Cole's happy with that. Conley P5, not too happy, but not bad in those conditions. Or P6, sorry. Chris Wilson jumping in at the end. But good fun. That Aero almost crashed the party. And we can see here the Ferrari driver on pole. Aero in P2. And not bad for that, considering both races so far in Tier 2 has been won from the driver starting second on the grid. So Aero not too unhappy with that. Maestro third and Chris Wilson fourth. Maxim, Conley third row. Still Curtin, Bittyban 7th, 8th. Charisma Zampa inside the top 10. GB 11th, crashed at the end. Luco and Halo make up the back of the grid. Probably unhappy with their times. But we'll probably avoid the carnage of turn 1 from the back there. So we'll see what they can do. Looking like a dry race, so everyone's going to get a free choice of tyres. So we might see some interesting strategies in play. But let's see. Obviously going to wait hopefully a little bit before anyone readies up. And hopefully no one readies up too early, and we can see the rain has subsided for the race. And we have got the Ferrari on pole. And whilst we're waiting for it all to start, let's have a little look at the standings. If I do it right, which hopefully I do. And we can see, we're going to run through all the tier standings then. Tier 1, Payox Kings leading the way, although that is not updated from last night's result, which I must confess I don't know. But in Tier 2 you can see Aero leading the way by 9 points to Oleg, who's not here tonight, so big chance for Aero to extend that lead. But Maestro and Tutaba are up there and are also very close on the grid today. And Tier 3, Michael with a brilliant start to the Tier 3 season. Really unlucky last week with a disconnect. Otherwise would have had an even more bigger lead in the championship. So brilliant start from him. And the Realistic League on your screens as well, with Kings leading that. So good start to the season for Payout Kings, leading Tier 1 and the Realistic League. As always, if you're interested in joining the league, head to our website, safespaceracing.co.uk, I think, or .com, and click the link to join the Discord. But still waiting for everybody to ready up. We'll get back to the action. And little recap of the grid then. Tutaba on pole in the Ferrari, Aero and P2 in the Red Bull. Aero leading the championship, as we've just seen. Really tight in the constructors battle, by the way, so far. Aston Martin and McLaren, 56 points each at the top. Red Bull and P3 on 48, 8 points behind. And Ferrari on 30 and 4th. So good chance for Red Bull and Ferrari to close the gap on the top two there. Obviously McLaren just with the one car tonight in Craig Conley. And obviously Ferrari, Red Bull and Aston Martin all have two cars in the mix today. So we'll see what they can do. But yeah, just on the grid, Maestro and Chris Wilson on the second row. Maxim Conley on the third row. Steel Curtain, Bitty Band on the fourth row. And Charisma and Zampa, two SSR OGs lining up alongside each other on the fifth row. Keep an eye on that in the background. Not sure what we're still waiting for here. I'm sure I can think of more things to talk about in the meantime. Tier 3 tomorrow at Monza. Obviously same as real life F1. Come and join me and some other drivers. We saw the stands a minute ago. Michael Collins leading Tier 3 at the minute. And we had a good race in Hungary last week with some wet weather. A few crashes, lots of safety cars. So if you like safety cars, then come and watch Tier 3 tomorrow. Same time, 10 o'clock at Monza. And SSR live Wednesdays with Realistic League, 10 o'clock. Fridays, Tier 1, 10 o'clock. Obviously tonight. 10 o'clock with Tier 2 and 10 o'clock on a Sunday with Tier 3. And we are good to go. Definitely, I'm going to say no one readied up early today because we were waiting for quite a while. So I'm sure it will be worth the wait. 11 people tuning in. Thank you very much for watching. We're about to get underway. 35 laps of Canada in Tier 2 SSR. We're going to, I assume, have a formation lap, which we are. And it appears Michael Collins has joined as a reserve. We were just talking about our Tier 3 leader. So it'll be good to see how he gets on tonight. So Michael in as a reserve at the back of the grid. Adds an extra number to the race. So 14 drivers now. Led away by Tutaba. And we can see the predicted pit stop strategy. Softs, medium, mediums. Or medium, medium, hard. Definitely a two-stop is what the game is saying. Let's see the tyres that everyone has decided to start on. And interestingly, all the top 8 on softs. And we saw there at the bottom of your screen a minute ago, soft, medium, medium is the play. Charisma, Zampa and GB on mediums. Luco and Halo have gone for the hard tyres. So I wonder if they're going to try and possibly go for a one-stop. And Michael at the back there on the softs in the McLaren. Going to be looking to jump the medium and hard runners pretty quickly if he can. And let's just play around with this. I can't remember if it just gets rid of it again, but we'll go with that for now. So if we're in the chat, any predictions for the race? Tutaba on pole, Aero championship leader in second, Maestro third in the championship, in third on the grid. Hopefully everyone can get through turn 1 safely. Certainly high number of retirements in a lot of races so far. I think that's a theme across a lot of leagues, not just SSR, at least I hope it is. Certainly the game is a lot more punishing on damage this year. Well, I think we run standard damage, so mistakes get punished on this game. So broken front wings, crashes, spins can see people at the race, a lot of safety cars as well. But hopefully we can have a clean start, and we're going to be underway in just a second. Everyone is on the grid, and we are, about to get underway. Can't see the lights, but we've got 3 of them, and now 5 of them, and we are underway. Tutuba leading us away. Great start from him. Clear of error already. What a start from the Ferrari in the back. Top 3 get away clean. Maxim, little dive down the inside. Contact there between Maxim, Maestro and Craig as they all just try and tuck in alongside each other. Maxim's going to be around the outside of the McLaren. A couple of people side by side in the background as well. Maxim around the outside of Craig into the chicane. Craig in front. And then behind that, GB and Bitty band side by side. Going into the next chicane. And as GB and Charisma is in behind the Ferrari, try to send up the inside still. And Zampa, the 2 Haas drivers, right behind each other, just behind that battle. Everyone looks like they've got away pretty cleanly, which is great to see. Max in 5th. Connie's jumped up to 4th, and Chris 3rd. Bad start from Maestro. He's down to P6 from P3 on the grid. And Aero's jumped Tutuba. Didn't see that one. Ferrari got a great start, but Aero's jumped him at some point there, which we missed. And the Red Bull and Championship leader is in the lead. Ferrari close behind, 4 tenths of a second the gap. Steele's having a little look by the looks of things down the inside, gets in front of Charisma before the chicane. Aero fastest lap. Zampa's into the pits, and Michael Collins is as well. Not sure if there's a bit of front wing damage. Michael Collins is retired, so another great start. I wonder if possibly he wasn't meant to be racing. But Aero still leads in the Red Bull, and we're on board with them now. Tutuba in behind the Ferrari, really close in at the front. Good start from GB on the mediums. He was jumped up a couple of positions, I think, so he's going to be looking to go long. Zampa's pitted onto the soft tyres, started on the mediums, so see what he can do from there. Michael's car has come out onto the track, so just be aware of that. I'm sure it's ghosted. Good battle forming here. Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes and Haas for P8, 9 and 10. Charisma's looking very racy on those mediums early on. Going to look to get the job done, but we'll go further up the field for the long run down to the chicane. Looks like a bit of a DRS train. We're at the DRS at the minute. No one able to make a move so far, but Tutuba staying with Aero. He does set the fastest lap of the race, but only a 5/10 lead at the top, and it's pretty close in behind. DRS enable, as you can see, already 2 laps in, and not too much damage. Zampa in the pit lane for, I think, a front wing possibly, but everyone's got away pretty clean. And we can see Maestro pretty close to the back of Formula Maxim in 6th, looking to make up those positions that he's lost on the first lap. We can see then Maestro down 3, GB up 4. Great start from him from 11th, as Halo's got past the Red Bull. Red Bull's got past the AlphaTauri up into P11, so Halo up 2 positions. Good start from Craig. Wasn't happy with P6, but he's recovered well. And looks like Maxim and Maestro going side by side then. And we've got DRS activated. They both got it. Can Maestro get a little look? And Tutuba and Aero side by side. And no room for Aero to get through as to back out. Great move from the Ferrari. And then Craig Conley, looks like Chris Wilson's gone very wide into the chicane. Drops down to P6 behind Maestro, behind Maxim. And because of that move for the lead, the front 6 have bunched up big time. Ferrari back in front. Good move from Tutuba up the inside of the final corner. Aero had to back out of it. And Conley's up to 3rd. Good start from him. 3 places gained. Maestro gets 1 back, and we can see Maxim now getting them very racy on the back of the McLaren. Zampa fastest lap of the race in clean air. And I'm not sure if Chris has picked up a bit of damage possibly. As GB's got past him as well, so I'm going to say he possibly has. Yeah, he's struggling to keep it there. I think he might have just hit that front wing on the Wall of Champions. And so we're going to see Maestro stick up the inside into the hairpin. Great move from the Aston Martin. Maxim gives him the room for it. It's going to switch back and try and come back at him down the hairpin, or down the straight after the hairpin. Again, both with DRS. You can hear it activated on the Mercedes. And Maestro keeps him at bay. Maxim's going to tuck him behind. See if he can get a run out the final corner as well. Great move there from the Aston Martin. Maestro making up the positions that he lost on the first lap, and Charisma and Steele going side by side as well. Chris Wilson, yeah, he's in the pits. So on four, as Charisma goes really deep, gets all out of shape, and Steele's going to go down the inside. Charisma deep into turn one, had to avoid the Ferrari, and that gives, and goes deep into the chicane, gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting as well for his troubles. So a bad couple of corners for Charisma, loses a position to the Haas after getting caught out. And now can GB catch up on those mediums? Great start from him, bit of clean air. He's on the mediums, he's just got to stick with that front five, and that's a great position for the Aston Martin. And look at these guys all bunched together at the front. Tutiba, after making that great move on the Red Bulls, just trying to get out of DRS range. Let's see if he's done it, and he has, which is going to expose Aero to Craig Conley. No DRS for the Red Bull, DRS for the McLaren. He's going to look up the inside, and oh, he backs out of it, didn't like it, and that's going to put him under pressure now, Craig. Now he has to look backwards, but he's got DRS to help him. Surprised Craig didn't go for that. Looked on, still cutting with a 3-second time penalty. We're going to see a lot of those today with these chicanes. Easy to cut the corners on the inside, and Charisma's gone in front of Bittyban now. So Bittyban's lost a couple of places on that lap, and then goes into the back of Charisma. He's going to be careful of his front wing. Has the Ferrari. Nice little scrap this for P7, but it is creating a big gap between them and the top six. GB just staying with them. Craig then with the opportunity. Aero was without DRS in that last lap. He's back in range, luckily for him now, because without it he was in big trouble to the McLaren behind. Craig's still very close, looking very good now, and Aero's back out of the second range. Don't think he's going to get DRS, and he's going to be in trouble again. Craig patient on the last lap, but if he gets an opportunity, you think he might try and get through here. Clearly got a little bit of pace on the Red Bull at the minute. Aero trying to break the toe. I'm not sure he's going to be close enough though. And you see in the background, Maestro just having a little look as well. Craig tucks in behind. And so close between second, third and fourth here. Maestro's having a look down the inside. Is he going to send it? He's going for it. Maestro up the inside of the McLaren. Craig tries to leave his nose in. Up the inside, bit of contact there. Maestro just around the outside. Not much room for the McLaren. But good move from Maestro. Set it up in the final corner. Better run down to turn one, up the inside, and he's up to P3 now, and he's very close to Aero as well. Aero's struggling to stay with the Ferrari. Maestro and Craig and Maxim all a little bit quicker at the minute, and we can see the Red Bull is struggling. Is Maestro going to go for another send here? We've seen two brilliant overtakes so far. Up the hairpin on Maxim, into turn one on Craig. Is he going to go for the hairpin again? Aston Martin up the inside, on the left. Red Bull on the right, and Maestro gets it done. Switch back from Aero. Is he going to get the drive? Let's have a look from Craig's point of view. Nice move from Maestro, and Aero doesn't get the DRS. That's crucial. Aero is under pressure now again from the McLaren. Craig's going to want to get through this time, and he does get it done. Aero into the pit lane. Aero's into the pit lane. Not sure if he wanted to. I think he must have done. He was forcefully outside and then straight into the pits. 6 laps seems a bit early, but he's into the pits. His Aero onto medium tyres, and Conley with a penalty there as well at that last corner. But he does get up into P3, Max in P4, and Aero comes out well down in P11. He's going to have some catching up to do. We've got a yellow flag, and Maestro's out. No, what's happened there? He's retired at the chicane. You can see it here from Charisma's point of view on your right. What a brilliant drive from Maestro, and then puts it in the wall. Oh no, you can see it there. He's lost it out the chicane. Front left is missing. And Aero is going to drive past the man who just overtook him. And Maestro's out after a really entertaining 8 laps. Virtual safety car is activated. Oh, as Zampa almost puts in the wall. Oh, what a brilliant 8 laps from Maestro, and then lost it at the chicane. Gutted for him. 3 brilliant overtakes from the Aston Martin driver, and he loses it. You can see how easy it is to do it. We're alive again, and Maxim's having a look at Conley straight away, and Conley decides doesn't want any of that battle. he's into the pits. So all of a sudden, from a 5-car train, it's only Maxim left with a 2-second gap to the Ferrari out in front. And GB on those medium tyres, which is looking like a great strategy at the minute, if he can extend that stint. Let's see where Craig comes out. Actually, let's have a look at Bitty Band and still Curtin going side by side. And Bitty Band again. Gotta look after that front wing. Again, goes into the back of the car in front. And Charisma's obviously jumped the Haas at some point as well. We missed that. Possibly the soft tyres just starting to go off a little bit as Luco picks up a 3-second time penalty on those hard tyres. And we see Craig has come out in P9. Craig's come out ahead of Aero, which is pretty crucial for that battle. Both on the same strategy. And I think that VSC really hurt Aero's chances of an undercut. And Chris, who's picked up that damage a little bit early on in the race. There's only 4 seconds off these guys now, which is sort of net P2, P3 at the minute. Down here in P9. So Chris has recovered pretty well. Neither of the top two have pitted on lap 9. Sootherby think might be able to extend a little bit longer, given that he's got that clean air. And Bitty Band in DRS range, but not close enough to get through, as Craig gets past the AlphaTauri on much fresher tyres, it has to be said. And Aero, you think, is going to want to follow the McLaren through soon. But 10 laps gone already. Very, very entertaining start here for Tier 2. Sootherby was on pole, got done by Aero on lap 1, regained the lead on lap 4 with a great move into the final corner, and has then sort of driven off a little bit. Great pace since then. Maestro drops from 3rd to 6th on the grid on lap 1, and then 3 brilliant overtakes to get himself back up to P2 before crashing at the first chicane, on the exit of the first chicane, as Aero is going to send it up the inside here. Difficult place to overtake this, but Luco lets him have the space. Good driving from both there. Aero gets through, but yeah, Maestro crashing and retiring. While I believe was a single car crash, I don't think anyone else was involved. We didn't catch on the stream, just this broken car. But yeah, that's where we are at the minute. A couple of the front runners have pitted, including Craig Conley, who is going to overtake Halo and move up into P7 as he tries to perform the undercut on Maxim and Sootherby. He's got to clear these guys quickly. Doesn't want to get held up behind Bitty Band on 10 lap old softs, because his pace is going to be slow through no fault of his own, just because of the tyres. We can see how much better drive Conley has out of those new medium tyres. So much quicker, but can he get through? He's losing time to the cars in front at the minute. And this is the risk you take as Bitty Band, in trying to defend, picks up a penalty. Bitty Band trying to help out his teammate here, just by keeping Conley behind. Conley's going to go to the outside now. Oh, bit of contact possibly. Bit of contact as Bitty Band stays in front. Conley desperate to get through. Go on board with the McLaren. Is he going to send it up the inside here? I know Craig's a patient driver. He will be setting up this move. He'll have, will he have DRS? He should, yeah, we'll have DRS. Will Bitty Band have it? No, I don't think he will, as two to the pit. So this is crucial. Will Conley come out in front of Sootherby? I doubt it. Has he been held up there? And let's see, where's Sootherby now? He's come out of the pit lane, so he's done, and Bitty Band pits in behind. So nicely timed there, as Conley's going to go around the outside. There's still Curtin in the Haas. Where's the Ferrari? Has he jumped him? He has, just about. Conley's jumped Sootherby, undercut from the McLaren despite getting held up there. Bitty Band couldn't slow him down enough. Conley's jumped Sootherby, but is on 3 lap older medium tyres. But great strategy from Craig Conley, and Aero's back right behind the Ferrari. So if these guys hadn't been held up, the undercut would have been massive. Would have been massive. So Maxim's probably in a bit of danger here of dropping down the order when he pits, because the medium runners are flying on the fresher tyres, and we've got now this top 3 back separated by half a second or 1.5 seconds. Good strategy then from Craig and Aero to get back in the game with a Ferrari. But Sootherby's going to have DRS here. Craig's going to be under pressure. Maxim pits from P1. And let's see, can the Ferrari get the McLaren back straight away? going to go up the inside. And Conley stays in front, sweeps ahead. Tudor knows he doesn't want to stick his front wing in there. Maxim pits, Charisma pits as well in the other Mercedes. But I hope he gets done quick. Yeah, Maxim's back out as well. So where are they going to come out in regards to this battle? Halo and Wilson driving side by side there. Maxim's going to come out right alongside this battle. Needs to get in front for his race's sake. Needs to get in front of Chris Wilson here. They're going to go side by side. Great driving from the two of them. Maxim takes a 3-second penalty but gets through. Important for his race. But look how he's come out 3 seconds behind the top runners there. Just from extending. But that might allow him to do a one-stop. We'll see. Not sure if he can do 22 laps on the mediums here. But he did 13 laps on the soft. So not beyond the realms of possibility. Chris Wilson has recovered well from his front wing damage at the start. Back up the P6. But crucial for Maxim and probably taking the penalty there to get through. I'm not sure we'd be too unhappy about that. But Tudor then, who hasn't had any penalties so far, has driven a great race. Looking to get back up into a net P1. GB's pitted from P1. So this is for the lead. Tudor up the inside. Gets it done this time. Aero with a 3-second time penalty behind in the Red Bull. His first one of the race. As GB goes on another set of mediums. So commits to the two-stop. There in the Aston Martin. I think everyone's going to be two-stopping. From what I can tell, I'm not too sure on the strategies around here. We saw two-stop was the fastest strategy come up at the start. But Tudor is driving brilliantly. And that's a great move there. Same move he did on Aero for the lead on lap 4. Down into the final corner. And Chris Wilson's hanging with Formula Maxim. On a lot older medium tyres, so he's going to struggle to stay with him here. GB Sanderson on fresh mediums. Probably going to be looking to clear Halo and Chris Wilson as quick as he can. As everyone has made their pit stops other than Halo. Race just settling down a little bit. Tudor after that overtake on the last lap leads, not out of DRS range though. So Conley can close that gap. And let's check. We're going to see actually Conley gets a decent run. Can Conley with DRS make any sort of move into turn 1? Can he get the lead back? He thinks better of it again. Patience from the McLaren driver. See that a lot from Craig. Very respectful on the track. Just hangs in behind. He'll be setting something up. Let's check in on penalties. 3 seconds for second, third and fourth at the minute. Chris Wilson with no penalties closing in on Maxim. And GB also with no penalties is closing in. So still those two guys. Oh, and Halo I think lets GB go there. I think Halo's struggling big time on those hards. Possibly now. As we're going to look at the position changes. Halo and GB making the moves. Conley as well. Up 4 positions. No one's really lost out too much, but obviously Maestro down 10 with the DNF as Still Curtin picks up a penalty, and everyone but Halo has stopped, and we can see the tyres there as Aero and Craig trying to put pressure on the Ferrari. It's too far back, but again Craig, can he get close into turn 1? He seems to get a nice run there. Out of the final corner, 3 tenths is the gap. Probably too far away. You've got to be a lot quicker than the car in front to get a move done into turn 1. Speaking of moves into turn 1, it's Wilson around the outside of Formula Maxim in the Mercedes. He's going to try and keep the power down on the outside of turn 2. And they're going to go side by side in the chicane. And Chris Wilson thinks better of it, and probably rightly so. Runs wide, but I think that was the lesser of the two evils because there's no way 2 cars fit in there. Craig Conley with his second time penalty up to 6 seconds. That's not good there for Craig. Could be costly at the end of the race, but good defensive driving from Maxim there. Knows that the exit of turn 2 is very powerful in terms of acceleration, and managed to stay in front. Chris Wilson on the outside of turn 1. Ballsy move there. That would have been pretty epic had that come off, but he's going to be in DRS range again, as is Craig on Tudor, but Aero's dropped out. So he's now going to struggle to keep up with the front 2. See if Craig again can set up a move into turn 1. Just needs to nail. Oh, and he runs wide that time. He's not. He runs a bit wide, bit too late on the brakes. You can see Tudor just gets ahead before the DRS kicks in. But what can Chris do? He's going to have another go in the turn 1. Maxim forces him the same way. Round the outside of turn 1. Becomes the inside to turn 2. Maxim's going to defend exactly the same way. Around the outside. But this time Wilson forced him a little bit wider. But again, they're going to be side by side in the chicane. And this time Chris Wilson sticks it in there. This time he has the outside. But again has to back out. This time to avoid the wall. Great driving from Formula Maxim to keep in front. But it's dropping time to the front 3. Chris Wilson on 8-lap older mediums has great pace here, but Maxim driving well, and Chris is going to want to try and get this done into the final corner if he can, because it's just finding it so difficult to get through at turn 1. Great defensive driving from Formula Maxim. Obviously been working on that in the pre-season. And let's see then, as Chris struggles to get the power down. And this will be interesting actually. Halo we can see has taken the hard 16 laps. Chris Wilson 12 laps on the mediums, but they're not old enough that he can't send it down the inside as Formula Maxim tries to stick with him. But Chris Wilson will have the DRS into turn 1. Can Maxim get any sort of run on him? Doesn't look like he can. So we can see then on 13 lap old mediums, Chris Wilson still has the pace. So possibly will we see a one stop from the likes of Formula Maxim? GB Sanderson has to pit again. He's gone on to 2 medium sets so far. So he'll have to pit. But Maxim maybe might be looking at a one stop, still 18 laps to go though. But let's see how long Chris lasts on those medium tyres. And these two are going to be going at it again. This time Maxim on the attack on the Alfa Romeo. That's an even harder place to overtake on though than turn 1 you feel. But it will be Maxim with the DRS, and this is a great little battle for P4. DRS helping keep these two close together, and it's helping Craig Conley stay close to Tutaba as well, you feel. You can see just sticking within a second up the front there. As Maxim's going to have a... I think he's going to set this one up into turn 1. Doesn't look like he wants to pass here. A little bit late on the brakes into the final corner, and Chris Wilson gets a great drive out of that. Will keep him in front for another lap, you feel. Maxim too far back. And let's see, Bitty Band is still cutting. This is a race-long battle between the Ferrari and the Haas for the 9th position, that is. And still cutting. What a brilliant drive through the final corner there. Had to back out of it. He was so close to the back of the Ferrari. His drive was that good. Through the final corner, and that forced him to stick in behind for the whole run into turn 1. Great run through the final corner from Steele, but he was just too close to the Ferrari. As Chris picks up a 3-second time penalty, as does Bitty Band. So the penalties are racking up. So GB and Tutaba without penalties in a very strong position at the minute. And you can see GB just gaining on this battle in front. And he'll be happy at the minute. Fresh mediums. Chris though with good pace, 14 lap old mediums, and he's got good pace. Has he got enough though to keep behind the Mercedes of Formula Maxim, who again looks to be setting something up in the turn 1. He's not close enough here, but Chris just a lot quicker through the final corner at the minute, which is why he was able to attack so much in the turn 1 when he was the one behind. And Maxim just using the DRS to keep him in range at the minute, and Craig Conley not in range of the Ferrari anymore. He's dropped a second and looks like he's struggling on those slightly older mediums. 2.2 seconds the gap now. Brilliant drive so far from the Ferrari of Tutaba. Dominant display so far. As, let's see, Maxim a lot closer now to the Alfa Romeo. This is the battle worth watching at the minute. This is the battle for 4th. Maxim, a little look up the inside, doesn't really want to overtake there. He wants to overtake now. He's got the DRS, he's a lot closer, 3/10 the gap. Can he get enough extra power to get it done? Looks like Chris is just a little bit quicker, possibly a setup thing. Chris on the straights, you can see before the DRS gets activated, the Alfa Romeo pulls away a little bit and then just creates a gap that's just too big for Maxim to get close enough. And again, same thing in the turn 1. Out the corner, the Alfa Romeo is quicker, and then the DRS just gets Maxim in range, but not close enough to get through. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's certainly our closest battle at the minute, but GB catching these two pretty quickly. And as then picks up his first time penalty of the race as well, as we go on board with him. Commentator's curse there. And Maxim again on board on the Alfa Romeo. Deja Vu. There's a really good battle between the two. But not the place he wants to go. This is where he wants to try and make a move. Out of the hairpin. Needs a better run. But he goes deep there. Into the hairpin. Still in range, but not anywhere near as close as he was on the last lap. And he wasn't close enough on the last lap to get through. So probably unlikely to get through before turn 1. But I might eat my words here. Because Maxim's flying up to the side of Chris Wilson. Backs out of it. So I wonder if Chris was using his ERS a little bit more on the last lap. Which is why he stayed in front. But Aero pits from P3. Aero first to pit on the first stops. And he's the first to pit in the second stops as well. Where's he going to drop down to? Has Halo pits his teammate in behind him. Which is going to create a nice gap, I think, for Aero to drop in front of the Ferrari. Pretty sure it will. Yeah, Aero's out in P7. Nice bit of clean air. This is what he needs. 8-second gap to Charisma. So Aero then is going to need to get his foot down and undercut Craig Conley. Can he even undercut the Ferrari maybe? Going to the end, you can definitely do 13 laps on the mediums. We've seen Chris Wilson do 17 laps on the mediums and have decent pace. So Aero then is going to be rapid. And will Craig Conley react to that? We'll keep an eye on Craig in the McLaren. Will he react to the pit stop of Aero? We saw how powerful the undercut was through the first round of pit stops. And will Craig Conley react? Let's see. He does. Thought he might. Otherwise he was going to get overtaken there. Will Chris Wilson pits as well. Frees up Formula Maxim. Finally Chris Wilson pits after 17 laps. I think he might be able to put the soft tyres on, you know. If he's got any sets left, which he should. And we can see that, yeah, Craig probably got held up there by Chris Wilson in the Alfa Romeo. So where's Craig? He's coming out of the pit lane now, and Aero's crossing the finish line now. So Craig's going to stay in front just, I think. Yeah, you can see the McLaren, but that gap, which was just over 2.5 seconds, is now down to a second. So it's a second and a half. That undercut's worked in a lap. And both these drivers now have got clean air that they can try and catch the Ferrari in. Chris Wilson's gone for soft tyres, which is interesting. Expect him then to be quick for the rest of the race as well. And I wonder if Teutoburg will just need to respond to that, because these two are going to be flying for a few laps now until they catch Charisma. GB, surprised GB didn't maybe try the hard tyres and go for the one stop, but he's going to have to pit again as well. Maxim again also in clean air. Teutoburg doesn't pit, so this is interesting. Aero and Conley sort of need to not fight each other here. They need to work together if they're going to catch the Ferrari. Aero does have DRS. He just needs the McLaren to drag him along here. Don't need to fight at the minute. We'll see what he's going to do. Does look a little bit quicker than the McLaren. And he's got DRS. And he's probably using his ERS as well. Is he going to send up the inside? He is. Red Bull against McLaren. Aero's going to go through here. Good move, you have to say. Great move into turn 1. Needs to get his foot down now. Yellow flag in sector 3. Which I think, oh, Luco has got a broken front wing. It looks like he's lost it. He lost it at the chicane. Unfortunately for him, he's going to drop down to 12th. But Aero's cleared Craig Conley. So Aero now is the main threat to the Ferrari up front. Our championship leader, flying on these new set of medium tyres. And we can see, let's have a look at gap to leader, can we? There we go. Gap to leader, 20 seconds. Sounds about right for a pit stop. So Teutoburg, and he is in. He is in. I wonder if he saw that gap was closing. And this is going to be pretty close, so you feel. Maxim's going to go through. GB is going to go through. Charisma as well. So Teutoburg's going to lose the lead. He's out of the pit box. Where is Aero? And yeah, Aero. Oh, Craig Conley's jumped Aero again. And these two fighting is going to keep Teutoburg in front probably. That's actually not going to be close, or as close as I thought. Chris Wilson, fastest lap of the race. You can just see the Ferrari going through then in front of Craig Conley, who's jumped back in front. of Aero, and Chris Wilson's flying up to the back of these two on the soft tyres. This is the battle for net P2. Tutuba out on the soft tyres as well, so he's going to be rapid. That might be certainly the race. The race is looking very good for the Ferrari. The cause for concern was the pit stops, but he's through that. He's on the nicer compounded tyres as well, and you've got to feel that unless he makes a serious mistake, then he is on course for victory with 10 laps to go. But the podium, well, the rest of the podium is very much up for grabs. Chris Wilson is a big contender for those places on the soft tyres. Aero, Conley, net P2, net P3 at the minute. But Chris Wilson wants to gate crash that party. And let's see, not close enough at the minute. Tutuba flying up to the back of Charisma. You can see he's already pulled out a couple of seconds on Craig Conley. So as long as he can get through the traffic alright, he's going to be all good. Bitty Band's in the pit, and he's got a time penalty to serve, which is going to drop him back. He's going to put the softs on. Two Haas cars, checking on them, 8th and 9th at the minute. Still Curtin's had that battle with Bitty Band all race as Tutuba gets through on Charisma. Not sure the Mercedes would have put up too much of a fight there. 13 lap old mediums against fresh softs. So let's see then, where are GB and Maxim going to come out then? They're going to slot into P7. A lot of fresh air. You can see a big gap between Chris Wilson and Still Curtin that Maxim's going to slot into in a minute. GB the same, so they're going to be flying on those softs, and there's going to be a big train behind Craig Conley for that final podium position. And Aero, what's happened to Aero? Looks like he's dropped back. Chris Wilson's cleared Aero on the soft tyres, and that's flying after Craig as well. And Maxim, you can see, he's dropped into that gap. 6 seconds off this this train for P2, net P2. And Tutuba is going after GB for the lead. Should be a formality on these tyres that he's got on. Is he going to send it up the inside here? GB does fight it. Keeps Tutuba behind. That's fine. Just needs to be patient. Doesn't need to rush that overtake. That's for sure. Knows he's going to get it done soon. Chris Wilson, a little brush with the wall as he's trying to catch up. If he can get through this quick enough, he might still have a little run at Tutuba. I think the penalties will stop him catching too much, as the Ferrari does go through into the lead. Luco with the fastest lap of the race on the soft tyres. So always GB. That's always a risky one, trying to fly into the pits there. Charisma follows him in, and Chris Wilson's jumped the McLaren. So those soft tyres really working out there for Chris Wilson. You have to wonder why Craig and Aero went for the mediums at the minute, because the softs is looking like the play right now, that's for sure. Charisma in, Max GB in as well. It's going to come out pretty far behind Formula Maxim, but all these soft runs are going to be flying. Aero and Craig Conley currently batting for that final podium position, and they're going to be under a lot of pressure in a few laps from the soft runners. Let's check in on penalties again. And you can see there that, again, Craig and Aero are in a bit of trouble with penalties as well. 6 seconds each, GB and Charisma just with 3. It looks like the top two have got those positions pretty sewn up. And so I wonder if Chris Wilson, can he make any dent on the lead of Tutuba? 4.4 seconds. Craig Conley still in touch, using DRS to his advantage to stay in touch. He's got back through on the Red Bull and is now clearing them. We see Aero's pace at the start of his stints really strong, and then just struggling with those tyres to keep it together. But some really nice overtakes today from a lot of these guys. Formula Maxim fastest lap of the race, 4 seconds behind Aero. Expect the front runners to start putting in some rapid times on these soft tyres. Fresh softs, low fuel on a grippy track. And these are when the fast laps come in. So Formula Maxim fastest lap of the race. Yellow flag in sector 2. Chris Wilson's out. Chris Wilson's out. He's crashed. He's facing the wrong way. No, Chris. What a recovery drive. And he's out. Safety car as well. Safety car. Chris Wilson's facing the wrong way. You can see him there. Oh, how has he managed that? All on his own. Oh, Chris. He's lost it here. And it's a safety car. And surely now, all the guys on mediums, certainly Steele, Halo and Zampa, will get the opportunity to box for fresh soft tyres. Although the Haas will have to double stack, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. What are these guys going to do? Conley and Aero are in. Conley and Aero are in. Maxim and GB don't need to pit. So this is great for them. Can Conley and Aero get out in front? They're not going to get out in front of Formula Maxim, but they are going to, I think, possibly just about get out in front of GB. Let's have a look. Difficult to tell at the minute. I think GB might just have it, actually. Yeah, GB's through. What about Charisma? And Charisma's through, I think. Oh, as they're racing out the pit lane, Charisma's got it. So Conley and Aero, who had to pit for fresh softs, really, to give them a chance at the end of the race, dropped down to 5th and 6th respectively. Tutu is going to lose the lead he's built up, but the penalty or lack of penalties that he's got should help him. We can see everyone pitting for fresh softs. Tutuba on 5 lap old softs. Maxim on 3. GB and Charisma pretty fresh too. The rest of the field, other than Bitty, are on fresh softs completely. So this is really going to spice it up. Safety car is going to give us a 3 or 4 lap sprint race here to the end. We've had a sprint race in real life Formula 1 today that wasn't particularly exciting, and hopefully now we can have a more exciting sprint race. Luca, I think, has lost the lead lap, unfortunately for him, so that's not going to allow him to rejoin, unfortunately, but he's still going to score points as long as he can keep it on the track. Zampa still back in the running for some decent points here. Bitty Band, they're all going to catch up. As who's going to win then? Who's going to be on the podium? GB and Charisma looking good on penalties. GB, Tutuba and Charisma look good on the penalties at the minute. But it's anyone's guess. Penalties so easy to pick up, especially when you're wheel-to-wheel racing around Canada. Very, very easy to pick up a penalty, 3-second time penalty. So we'll leave the penalties to the end now. Create a bit of the unknown when the guys cross the line. But for sure, Tutuba, positives, he has no penalties. Negatives, he has older softs. So let's see if he can hold on to the lead, which he deserves. He deserves to win the race, no doubt about that. Driven fantastically in qualifying as well. Started on pole and has led every lap bar 1 to 4 after Aero jumped him. Safety car in this lap. Everyone's caught up, so they're going to be underway. We're going to have 4 laps of racing here at Canada to decide the order for Tier 2. Tutuba getting everyone ready, slowing everyone down. 11 cars left, which is really good show from Tier 2. We've got 11 cars left, and it's an 11 car sprint, and Tutuba is going to get us underway here in Canada. The Ferrari driver as Aero's picked up a penalty for the collision with Bittyban. Not what you want to see. That's going to cost him at the end of the race, but Bittyban was behind him, so not sure whose fault that would have been. I think Zampas might have lost it a little bit at the end there, but let's go back up to the front. Tutuba keeps the lead. Everyone's as they are. Zampa with a penalty. Craig Conley in behind the Mercedes of Charisma. 2-4 for Mercedes at the minute. They're all keeping it clean, which is good to see. A couple of penalties coming through though. Shame about Aero's penalty. Hopefully that might not be his fault, but we'll see. But can anyone make a move? No DRS, remember, for a couple of laps. but Maxim is pretty close then to a Ferrari. Yellow flag in the background, I think that's Zampa. So we'll keep an eye on the battle at the front. Maxim's very close as Conley's going to send it around the outside of Charisma, who gets it back, which will give Aero a run at the McLaren. But it does look like Craig is the closest to anyone out of the front. Maxim's 4 tenths behind, not close enough to make a move. Conley a little bit closer to the Mercedes of Charisma. As Conley picks up a penalty, another penalty for Craig. We said it could happen. So easy around here. Anything could happen these last couple of laps. Maxim forces Tutuba to defend on the inside. So Tutuba having to defend for the Mercedes. Still no penalties for the Ferrari though. And let's see, holding them off really well. Charisma putting a bit of pressure on GB Sanderson. Both on 5 lap old softs. Still one more lap without DRS, I believe. You can see there in the background, Aero's going to have a nice go at the McLaren of Craig Conley. Both good drivers have just picked up penalties since the start of the race again. Maxim keeping close eye on the Ferrari in front. No DRS yet to use, unfortunately for him. Needs to keep in 1 second range for another lap. Doing his best. Charisma and GB both just with 3 second time penalties at the minute. Looking good for podiums, you feel. Let's see what anyone can do. Oh, Craig Conley goes very deep on Charisma. Luckily gets on the brakes just about hard enough to stay out of his rear wing. That could have been a bad collision there. Just about keeps out of it. Will compromise him a little bit, but Craig's still very much tucked in there. And the top 6, just like we started this race with the top 6 side by side, we're going to end this race with the top 6 right next to each other. DRS is enabled, so Maxim will get a run here, or get a chance to get closer to for the Ferrari. I don't think with penalties it's going to matter too much. Maxim, I think, is actually going to drop out the podium positions here. Looks like GB and Charisma will be on the podium. Maxim's going to drop down to P4. Charisma, P3 second time penalty. Keeps Maxim on the podium then. Bittyban jumps Aero. Aero's struggling, think he might have had a collision. So Aero's dropped down. Our championship leader is going to get his lead reduced, possibly even cut completely now, down to P8 in the Red Bull. And we can see Maxim with a DRS is closing in on the Ferrari. 1 lap to go. Cuts the corner to get a run at him. Maxim's going to go up the inside then on the Ferrari. No penalties for Tutuba, just needs to keep it clean to win the race. Maxim though is going to want it on track. Yellow flag in sector 3, we've got Aero in the pit. So he did have a collision. He's dropped well down to P9. But crucial for Maxim to get this move and try and just create a bit of a gap. Keep him on the podium at least. But Conley then has got, I think, the same penalties as Charisma. So this is a battle for P4 on track and in the final standings. This safety car proper spicing the race up at the end then. Maxim on the track leads the race. Tutuba off the track. Oh, Maxim, big moment. Big moment for Maxim out of the chicane. Tutuba's going to get the lead back, I think. Let's see, Maxim up the inside though. Oh, Aero's in the wall. Aero's in the pit wall. Oh my god, what's happened there? Chaos to finish. I'm not sure if Aero's going to be able to finish the race. But this is a drag race to the line. Final lap. Final corner. There's a 3 wide to finish the race here at Canada. And GB Sanderson goes up the inside of Maxim. What a move that is. Charisma right behind his Mercedes teammate. Tutuba's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix in Tier 2. Deserved win. GB takes second. Maxim holds on to the podium. Charisma P4. Conley P5 in the end. Bittyban takes P6. Aero's still stuck in the pit lane, bless him. Not the end for a race he wanted. That is for sure. Bittyban just less than a tenth of a second to crossing the line in front of Craig Conley. But Conley keeps it. P5, Halo P7, still cutting P8. That's 8 and 9. Zampa takes P9 in the end. And Luco stuck in there for P10. Good points for him. And Aero. Oh, what's happened? Oh, Aero's finished on 3 wheels, but he has finished. Not sure what happened to him at the end, unfortunately, for our championship leader. But what a finish. 3 wide into the final chicane. GB gets driver of the day. What a brilliant end to the race there, Tier 2. Provided lots of entertainment, lots of great driving, great defensive driving. Probably the cleanest race I've seen so far this season in terms of wheel-to-wheel action. Toothford's got the phone out. He's got the trophy as well. And that's a good podium, that. GB and Maxim alongside him. And that is a good race from Tier 2. I enjoyed that, and we're going to speak to the top 3 in just a moment. See what they thought of it. Zamp did get fastest lap in the end, so well done to him. You can see a lot of penalties for him, but he got fastest lap. There's the race classification for you. Toothbert with the win. GB driver of the day. So we'll speak to the top 3. Hopefully if they join the party, going to send out some invites now. See what they have to say for themselves. Hello mate, make sure you tick the box for me, bud. Just wait for the other 2 to join. Hopefully they will. Here's GB. Just wait for Maxim. Hopefully he joins. If not, maybe we'll get Charisma in instead. Speak to the other Mercedes. Yeah, make sure you tick the box. Let's get Charisma in if Maxim isn't going to join.
Has Emma won the tennis? Oh, she has. Beautiful.
Did she win?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think she won 6-4, 6-3.
Oh, lovely stuff. Oh, Maxim is it. We got both Mercedes in. That's fine. Cool. Make sure you tick the box, guys. We'll have a chat with everyone. I need to get my breath back after that finish. 3 wide into the final corner on the last lap. But let's chat with Charisma first. Charisma P4. That last, I think second to last lap penalty there, costing you a podium, but not a bad recovery from P9 on the grid. Just talk us through the race that you had and that finish at the end, side by side, with your teammate, I think it was.
I had a good start, to be fair, but I had a few battles with Steel Kern and what's the other guy? B Band. Yeah, I was having a bit of a scrap with them, which was a bit physical, but got past them in the end. But yeah, it was a good strat. Just GB got away very quickly when I had them 2 in front of me and I was battling because I couldn't get past them. He was just slipping away. But then obviously safety car came out. But yeah, it was just getting points really because this track is not much stronger, so points was always the main aim and to finish. So yeah, good race.
Yeah, good recovery, nice P4, and your teammate Maxim told me earlier this week he was going to win the race, but P3 Maxim, not bad for your first race of the season. And you were leading at one point in that last lap. Just talk us through the end there, because it was crazy.
I didn't manage, best case scenario for me anyways was P3, because my 6 seconds of pens. And then at the end I just didn't manage my ERS very well. Through the entire race, to be honest. It's quite tough to harvest around Canada, which is why I was trying to sort of stay with Chris in his ERS and harvest a bit of energy, but just goes. But yeah, next week, hopefully higher up is the goal.
Where are you next week? What's the race next week?
Don't know. I want to see
Singapore.
That's a cracker.
You guys, you're not gonna win next week. You're definitely not gonna win next week. I'm sorry. Singapore is one of my best.
Oh, fighting talk already. Let's Maxim P3. Let's chat with GB quickly. GB, thought you might have gone for the 1 stop, but obviously the 2 stop in the end worked out for you with the softs at the end. Just talk us through the strat, because I think you started P11.
Yeah, I don't really want to
obviously a very nice race.
To be honest, it was pretty pretty bad. I crashed out on the final lap in quali. But
Yeah, we saw it.
yeah, oh great, was that on stream? But yeah, I was considering the one stop, but I saw the front guys who had started on softs were all going to mediums. They weren't trying like soft to hard, so I just ended up sticking with what I started with, and I don't know who Charisma got stuck behind, but that basically helped my race massively because I was able to get away from him, try and stick with the front guys a little bit without having that sort of pressure from behind. And I mean, the end was crazy, but it was one that I didn't really want to do too much on that final lap because I knew that how it was, I wasn't going to beat Tux because he only had 3 seconds, and it's like he didn't have any penalties, and I had 3 seconds, and Maxim had 3 more than me, so it was just a case of just survive, I guess, and keep Charisma behind, which is easier said than done. You're a bit too quick, mate. You were hunting me down at the end, I was fearing for my life.
Good job. You
Yeah,
did well.
it was a very nice scrap. Very good view of about 4 cars going side by side in the final corner there. So
Yeah, it was
yeah,
scary.
nice drive, and we'll come to our winner to finish then. Tut, I'll be honest, I've been butchering your name all stream, so sorry for that. But yeah, I didn't get that right at all. But I mean, you're on stream a lot because you were flying in qualifying. Setting fastest lap after fastest lap. How were the conditions in quali, first of all?
It was really, first of all, when we got to qualifying and we saw the interest, I'm talking about meeting with Biriban, we said, oh my god, fuck, we're gonna have a wet quality. And I was telling him, yeah, it's getting drier because the wets are getting slower than the inters. And so we kept seeing that we kept seeing that it was faster, and so I did everything I could to do the lap as late as I could, and I got it, and I did get lap after lap of fastest lap because I don't know, I think I'm better at wet than at dry, and so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, well, I mean, it was a great quali, and then the race as well. Aero jumps at the start. Great move to get him back at lap 4, and then was it pretty comfortable after lap 4?
Yeah, I think it got pretty hard at one point because there are 3 DRS zones in this track. So everyone behind me, while I was P1, everyone behind me just kept having DRS after DRS after DRS, and I could not get further away than 1 second from everyone. And at one point, I think that it was Chris Wilson, who was like every time getting DRS, and then he had to fight Arrow, I think, and so he gave me enough space. He lost the DRS, and I could get away easily, and then the safety car came out, and I wanted to kill myself, but I didn't have any penalties, so that got me there.
I'm really
Yeah,
ended up
yeah,
with
great
my
drive.
penalty, to be honest. I wanted to try and take the battle to you at the end, but I got a penalty for my own stupid mistake. Of just
Yeah, the penalty was
overextending
pretty
it.
important at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tut, brilliant drive, and I believe you are leading the championship now.
I
After
hope.
Arrow slipped back at the end there, so
Yeah,
good
he
stuff.
did.
And you're saying you're pretty confident for Singapore next week.
Yeah.
But obviously that's a tough track. But yeah, guys, I have to say that was some of the best racing, wheel-to-wheel racing I've seen for a while. So good job, well on tier 2. And
Let's go.
that is all for tonight. We are back tomorrow night, where I'll be racing. So the wheel-to-wheel racing won't be as good, but it'll still be fun. We're at Monza for tier 3 tomorrow.
On
Oh,
that.
wow.
Come and join us for
Fitting.
then. And well, yeah, Monza in real life, Monza for tier 3.
I'll be commentating
And we'll see you then.
with Charisma.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Well, definitely
No,
tune in
we
tomorrow.
want
Then.
people to watch it, Maxim. Don't tell them
Oh,
that.
sorry. It's definitely not being
Tune in tomorrow,
We've
guys.
actually got
We will
special
see you
guest
later.
commentator.
Cheerio.
Alright.
Bye.